Everyone, so today for my first video I just want to do like a chatty, informative video about university, my experience at university, applying to university, and any tips that I may have that may help anyone. My first tip, and I would say this is the most important one, is to stay on top of things and to stay organised. So when I applied to university, going from Bristol Hospital to the one in Sheffield, it took around a year to transfer my medical records from one to another, and it was a really stressful and emotional time anyway, and I found that this just added to the anxiety that I was feeling as to have I made the right choice. This seems a bit difficult, so I really recommend doing it as soon as possible, so that your records are there when you arrive. Another thing is to don't be afraid to be direct. If you have any queries, any questions for doctors or nurses, don't be afraid to ask. I think that's a really important thing, because before I went to university I relied really heavily on my mum's help, phoning doctors, making these appointments for me, and really going to university and having to do all of this myself really provided me with that confidence that I needed to do all these things on my own. Also keeping record of all my appointments. So get a big calendar, put it on your wall, and make note of every time you have an appointment, every deadline, and make sure nothing clashes. I think that's a really important tip and something really important to do straight away. As soon as you're at university, as soon as you have your timetable, make note of what classes you have when, what's due when, and then what appointments you have, and just make sure nothing clashes really. So my next tip is what to do once you have got your confirmed place at university. So apply for DSAs, which stand for Disabled Student Allowances, and these basically entitle you to assistive software, technology, amenities that will really help your time at university and your experience. So apply through your local council. It's either a postal or an online application. I think I applied online. And then you go to an assessment centre where they assess all your needs and will really help your experience at university. So I got taxi rides to and from buildings, I got a laptop, I got assistive software. So really loads of things that really helped my time at university and enabled me to achieve my potential. So now I'm going to talk about my experience at university. My time was for me, my experience was split into two halves. The first half was all of first year, beginning of second year, and then going second half is second half of second year and third year. So I would say during the first half it was just pretty much like anyone else's experience. My illness was more manageable back then, so it's easier to hide, and I think that's one of the biggest regrets that I have in first year, was hiding my illness. I was almost embarrassed that I wasn't like this normal stereotypical girl, so I would often hide my illness, and I would ignore it, and I was afraid to talk about it. And although, like I said, I had that one person that support mentally and physically when I went out, no one else really knew. Second half of second year and going into third year, didn't really get out like to clubs as much. I went to the gym quite a lot. That's really important. I made more of a life for myself outside of like being a student. So I went to the gym quite a lot. I went to the cinema, to restaurants, to meet friends. So I did have fun, but in a different way to first year and a bit of second year. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you found this video helpful and informative if you're thinking of applying to university anytime soon, or if you're at university right now. And please comment any video suggestions or any questions that you have. You can comment or DM me and I'll be happy to answer.